Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. And as always, thank you for all your support, including sharing, chatting, liking, and subscribing. Now roll that famous logo animation! Good evening and welcome back to Computerized Start Live. I'm your host, Justin D. Morgan. You might notice a few small little differences on the YouTube interface tonight. Because on Dave's stream, I hit the magic 500. And I'm already approved and I got approved for the YouTube Partner Program. So, hey, I'm in at the 500 subscriber level. So, let's see who's in the chat, then I'll get the channel announcements. So, you might hold those supers for a moment, because I know you're probably itching to go, but yeah, that's coming in channel announcement. Just one thing you probably should know about them first. But anyways, we have Kibbs with Retro. Hi, Kibbs. We have SadMac356. Hi, SadMac. We have Gut Bomb. I've got your box right over here in the pile of boxes I was juggling downstairs. I have Jesse, I8386SX. Hi, Jesse. Yes, actually juggling would give me some channel engagement. We have Joe's Computer Museum reminding me that I'm late. Hey, Justin D. Morgan is neither early nor late. He clicks the start streaming button precisely when he intends to. And then if he messes up the settings, it doesn't actually start streaming. But that's a whole nother story. That's for the sequel in the trilogy. We have Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack. Hi, Jeremy. We have Retro Techie. Hi, Retro Techie. Yes, I am up to 500 subs, which means I'm in the YouTube Partner Program. But yes, you might notice I also still have my Ko-fi goal. Link is in the video description, because there's like one small detail about super chats and super stickers and super thanks. Just to be clear about when you get paid out on those, it would be like 60 to 90 days before I'd get paid out on them. Just, it's the truth of the matter. Yeah, apparently you get paid out, it's complicated. Basically, I think there's like a 60-day hold period, and then you can't get a payout until you're up to $100, and then you get paid out the month following when you hit $100 at like the end of the month. So if you would like to contribute towards my VCF East table, you might pick Ko-fi. Just saying, because Ko-fi, when you use Ko-fi, it's actually up to when Stripe and PayPal distribute funds, and it's much quicker. But hey, the super chats and super stickers and super thanks are also appreciated, never required. But I thought I would let you know what the difference is between the two, as to why I might still have a Ko-fi progress goal. Remember, pointing for YouTubers is hard, so why I still have that there, that's exactly why that's there. So that's okay. And if all you can do is watch and subscribe and share and like and be cool in the chat, that's also cool. I realize that is sometimes the only thing some people can do, and I'm with you there. So I appreciate that too. Retro Techie saying, I'll contribute for that VCF thing if you contribute for my 2013 Mac Pro. Let's see. Gutbomb's asking if I'm on Global Talk yet. Considering I was at work when I first read about it, no. I'm not there yet. It's the wave of the future of the past. Yeah, I was listening to Steve's stream and wishing I could print to his printer, but I was at work. Apparently Global Talk doesn't work on iPhones. future me disappointed. Anyways, I'll have to set that up at some point. Possibly not tonight. I tries to look in box that has things sitting on top of it. That prevents me from looking at box that has things on top of it. But what to see what I might have in terms of network cards and how far I get tonight. Anyways, yes, I'll have to get that set up so I can print this Steve's printer. Also, fun fact, I had forgotten I had YouTube on the background, so I'm like doing other things and then wondering why in the world I started hearing a dot matrix printer, and I was like, oh, that's right. I must have put YouTube in the background. That was funny. Hi, Thomas Armstrong. Welcome. Let's see if I need help setting it up. Okay, I'll let you know, Gut Bomb. Retro Techie says the best reason to leave all your old networks unsecured for 2024. Global talk. All right. Let's now that I got channel announcements out of the way. Don't forget VCF East is April 12th through 14th. I will be there. And Joe! Woot! Or Eep! Or I'll blow my throat out trying to get up to that high of a note. Yes, Joe is Joe wins. Joe is my first super chat, and now I know what they show up as in the OBS chat. I wish I could show it on screen, but I got to figure out how to do that. So Joe wins the internet with a woohoo! Yes. Joe had it queued up for the last 5 minutes. Yeah, I know. I was late. Sorry, Joe. Thank you. Why was I late? All right. Well, let's see. I have Wheel of Regrets. I have things you've sent me. I have more things you've sent me. And I did have to make sure I brought the box down from Console 5. Jeremy says, quack. I know. But I wasn't late. I was just in time. That Retro Techie says, now, every time you get a super chat, you have to say, hi, I'm Joe. Not sure it works that way, Retro Techie. But, yeah, I don't think it works that way at all. I don't know. I'll go read the super chat guidelines again. Maybe later after the stream when I need to fall asleep. Sadmac saying Wheel of Regrets. Yes, we have Wheel of Regrets. But first, though, because I had to have some place to set it, we are going to first do the things you've sent me, because the things that were sent to me are on top of the Wheel of Regrets things. So, yes. Yes, I do have Wheel. Oh, that was the other channel announcement. Yes, I am going on a self-imposed vintage computer purchase moratorium. And I know I probably said that a week or two ago and totally messed it up by buying more things on eBay. But this time, for sure, I am not buying it unless it's funded somehow. So there. With the one exception, and even then I hope it's funded, but the one exception is if it's for a legitimate VCF East expense, as in repair parts for something I want to take to VCF East. So there we go. I said it. So please don't tell me things that I should go consider buying right now, because I probably won't, unless it's a repair part. If you realize that you've seen a repair part that I need, share those with me. But all right, so what do I have here on the table? Well, I usually wait until stream to unbox things, but I knew that Jeremy says Wheel of Regrets is war. Yes. All right. Retro Techie says, I have a channel announcement too. I post a video today, many months after my last one. Yeah. Okay. Normally, I don't unbox things before a stream. Be it like my stream, Dave's stream, Trina's stream, someone's stream. Like, if the person who sent it to me invites me on their stream, I'll open it on there. But anyways, I knew Retro Tech Chris would understand, because I opened the box because I needed to talk myself out of buying something on eBay, even though I told myself I don't want to buy anything else. I need to focus on VCF East. So I opened the box. And actually, yes, it worked. I was able to talk myself out of buying something on eBay by opening the box. So I know RetroTech Chris will understand. I had to open the box. It saved me a potential regret, probably. Maybe. I mean, I might still end up buying something like it, but at least I didn't do it like earlier in the week. So what did RetroTech Chris sent me? And I know some of this stuff I believe actually came from name escapes me right now. Bill. Okay, the last name will come to me here in a few moments, I'm sure. But anyways, so the first thing, in no particular order, I have a set of beige speakers that plug into AC power. And I might actually replace this plug because there's something suspicious going on with that plug. Or maybe it's just something dirty on it. But anyways, yay! Absolutely cheap speakers. These might come to VCF East. So I have a set of speakers to plug into something. Because it's not like you'll be able to hear the quality bass coming out of them anyways, because the rooms will be loud. Gut Bomb says, just remember, Justin, eBay regrets equals content. Yes, but spending on VCF East equals exhibit. Yeah. Kib says, now I want to make a wheel of regrets with tiers of the following: Vardo Explosion, Tantalum Boom, Reefa Fart, Magic Smoke Cloud, and box DVDs. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Kevin Klingensmith. All right. I have a little bit more towards VCF East. Woot! All right. And, Jesse says, I've stopped pretty much all vintage hardware purchases too. A reasonably priced 486 based compact Pro Linea is one of my exceptions right now. Yep. Jeremy says, I've been buying things on eBay in your place. Lol. I already know that one of the items I bought is a regret. Oh, bummer. Joe says, I've also stopped purchases, have to rebuild finances after starting a new business. Startup costs suck. Yep. Yeah. Yep. I understand, Joe. All right. So the next thing I have, it's a celery processor. Woohoo! Yeah, I opened this little box up. I'm like, wait a minute. Why is there nothing etched on the top? And I realized, oh yeah, it's a celery processor. So Intel only wanted to mark what it was on the bottom. I think it's a 533 megahertz, but I'm not entirely sure. So, yay! I got a celery processor. Hi, Strider. Am I unpacking a Quadra 700? No, I'm unpacking things people have sent me. The Quadra 700's actually already been unpacked. So, we'll get to the Quadra 700 shortly, just as soon as I get through what people have sent me. All right. RetroTech Chris also sent along from his personal stash a couple of clips that go to an Enlight ATX case, which is actually, I think, an eBay purchase I showed off earlier, and I'm completely blocking it. But anyways, yes, definite thank you to Chris for those clips. I'll be able to mount a computer in it. Jeremy says, Celeron equals sell ya wrong. Am I putting the Celeron in that Macintosh? No, RetroTechie. The next item is something I'd never seen before. I bet many of you have never seen it before. No Windows. I don't care what you're trying to tell me right now. This is an ISDN modem with like ports on it. I think it might be an ISDN video conferencing board. Yes, so there you go. This might be the first time some of you have seen an ISDN modem too. Yay! I may have to figure out more about this board. I have no idea if there's anything you can do with it now other than it be a curiosity piece for a really weird coffee table, but I don't know. Maybe I might open a expansion board museum and have all of like 2 people visit it because that seems like a really niche museum. Jeremy says celery is best when dipped in peanut butter. Well, I could say we'll test that, but no, we will not test that when it comes to Celeron processors. Am I putting that card in Macintosh? No, I'm not. All right, next I have an assortment of keyboard encoders plus 2 74 LS series chips, I think. That I don't know what they are. But yay, keyboard encoders. These can be handy. No, I'm not putting them in a Macintosh Retro Techie. Jesse says celery is the official vegetable of the NBA, as says Al Bundy. All right. I'm going to save this board till last. All right. The next item, which is going straight in the repair pile after I show you, is this Pentium socket 7 motherboard that has some sads to it. Yeah. This is a sad socket 7 motherboard. Friends don't let friends put plastic clip SIM sockets on their motherboards. I wish who made this board? I don't know who made this board. Magitronic maybe? Might be a Magitronic board. Yeah, I wish Magitronic had known that back in the past, but it does have some RAM on it. Possibly not very large RAM modules, but hey, there's some RAM on it. It's got the header on it. I might be crazy enough to try to repair it. Or very much, this might appear on the free pile at VCF East. Oh, yeah, although this is one of the interesting Pentium boards that they put an 8-bit ISA slot on it. Although, thankfully, at least they were thinking, and they put the 8-bit ISA slot beside the shared PCI slot, and not like something silly like making this the 8-bit ISA slot. Because I think somewhere out there's a Pentium motherboard I've seen, and like the 8-bit slot is like not the shared slot. So at least that was somewhat smart. Yeah, Kim says my Soyu has metal clips. Jesse says, if only I could find an intact Magitronic case. Yeah. Jeremy says, wah, wah. Jesse says the Mad Dog room will be its own exhibit. Yes. Kim says every second exhibit would be a PCI networking card. Yeah. All right, so that's kind of a sad motherboard. It'll go in the repair pile. If not, the VCF East in the free pile. I'm not putting that motherboard in the Macintosh Retro Techie. All right, where's Ryan when you need him? All right, I'm gonna zoom in for this. All right, y'all probably had to know that there'd be a Trident card at some point tonight. Seems like every night there's a Trident somewhere. So I now have a Trident TGUI 9400 CXI Visa Local Bus video card with probably 1 whole megabyte of RAM. Upgradable to 2! If only I could find the 40-pin zip memory chips, which are probably more rare than bread on the evening before a major snowstorm at the grocery store. Way more rare than bread at the grocery store the night before a major snowstorm. And milk. Yeah. Am I putting that Trident in the Mac? No. No. I think it would cause a space-time anomaly if I tried to put that Trident card in the Mac. But yeah, thanks, Kibbs, for beating Retro Techie to asking. Gutbomb says more rare than toilet paper in March 2020. Yes. Jeremy says a Trident card on Justin's bench. I'm so surprised. Not. Jesse says toilet paper in April 2020. I say both. I think they were getting pretty rare then. But this is the last one, and this is actually what stopped me from buying another motherboard on eBay. And not for the reason why you might think, because I know you all are probably fixated on the fact that it looks like there's a 386 socket on a VESA local bus motherboard. But actually, it was the 386 part that got me. I was actually about to buy a, yeah, the VESA local bus is a bonus here. I was actually looking to buy a 386, 486 combo board that did not have VESA local bus, so this is actually a bonus. Yes. I will be very careful with this board. I do know Adrian Black had one of these boards or one similar to it, and I think his faulty power supply killed it. Well, I will try to be careful with this board. No, that is a 386 socket, and this is going to be a 486 socket, but if we turn the board over, there are definitely enough pins there that there is a 387 socket in the middle of the 486 socket. That is what I was looking for. The fact that this board has VESA local bus is a bonus. However, as you all probably know, with a lot of things that come across my bench, there are usually gotchas, and this board does have a gotcha. The note on the bag says it does not post, and you could probably see why. If this was an eBay purchase and we were spinning the wheel of regrets, we would have hit Varda bomb, because not only is there definitely a trace that's gone on the top, I am pretty sure that there is at least one trace that's, actually, I think there's at least two traces that are gone on the bottom, and a couple more over here that look pretty suspect, although it might just be solder mask issues, because sometimes issues with the solder mask can look like a corroded trace, but there's definitely something funky going on there at the top of the board that I will have to investigate. But yeah, this via here is definitely gone, and I'm pretty sure there's a break in the trace beside it. I'm fairly sure that the issues in this area of the board are probably why it's not posting, because I believe there's a couple important traces that are usually in that area of the board. So this will be on a future stream. Kib says, grabs a grenade and throws it at a pile of old Vardas. Yeah. Sadback says, remove the batteries, please, thanks. Yeah. Jeremy says, Varda, you jackwagon? Whatever that means. I'm sure that's from some show. Yeah, bad Varda. Bad Varda. No cookie for you. Anyways, yeah, this will definitely be in a repair at some point. So, thank you, RetroTech Chris, for sharing some retro goodies with the channel. And now to try to get through the rest of what you sent me, which is actually this box here. So, this one comes from Gut Bomb. Kib says, revenge. Yes, we'll have revenge on that Varda that leaked its guts. So, this box comes from Gut Bomb. If you saw Dave's stream on Sunday, you probably saw that Gut Bomb showed off what I had traded with him to get this item. So this is a trade. So I had traded Gut Bomb a few things he needed, and Gut Bomb sent me something that I had been wanting. Jeremy says, bad idea, Barda board. Yeah. I have a tendency of opening boxes upside down these days, but anyways. Alright, we have packing peanuts, but that's okay. They're at least the biodegradable ones. Alright, I think that... Let me make sure there's nothing hidden in the box here. Oh, I can tell that Gut Bomb has been ordering stuff from DigiKey. I mean, I'm sure there's somewhere else that also uses paper packing a lot like this, but that definitely looks like DigiKey packing paper. If you've ordered from DigiKey, you know. Yeah, Gut Bomb says warning peanuts. Yeah. Right. Kib says, invents an unvartainator. Yeah, I got bombs confirming. It came from DigiKey, yeah. Alright. So I had sent Gutbomb it was a Sound Blaster Live card, a new Bus Network card, and some Rambus RAM, and Gutbomb sent me a Fast Load Pi 15410 that is assembled. So, yes! This will come in so handy with my Commodore 64. So am I keeping up with the Commodore? Well, I'm sure trying. So thank you, Gutbomb, for the good trade. This will definitely come in handy because the Commodore 64 is on my list of computers I might take to VCF East, so having a Pi 15410 for it will certainly come in handy. If you would like to get one of these, I think Gutbomb might still have materials to make some, so he was selling them. So you can get with him and see if he has any more. He might even comment in the chat if he has materials to make more. And you can help him out by buying one from him. Anyways, yeah, thank you, Gutbomb. So this may actually go to VCF East because this will make it easier to take a Commodore 64. Gutbomb says he's out, but if people want more, I will make more. All right. So yeah, I guess if you would be interested in something like that, you can DM Gutbomb on Discord, and I guess if there's enough interest, he might order enough to make another batch. So let him know. I believe he's Gutbomb on Discord. I mean, how creative. Kibbs is now, Kibbs says, if you keep up with the Commodore's keeping up with you. Justin, the song is stuck in my head. Yeah. All right. Oh, we are now to Wheel of Regrets. Yeah, this is the, all right. So if you all, were probably on the Macintosh Friends Discord, you probably already saw that I bought something after I'd said I wasn't buying anything. All right, and the thing is, it's not like this card never shows up on eBay, but this time around, it actually showed up at a reasonable price. So, I think there's still two more on eBay that are like about $200. I didn't pay that much. So hopefully this does match their picture. Otherwise, I will be quite disappointed and will be returning it. All right, this is a good sign. I already saw the chip on it. Oh, wow, and it's pretty clean, too. All right, so what do I have here? All right. You have probably seen one sort of like this on my channel before, but there is a difference between this card and the one I already had. And it's not like these don't show up on eBay, but the other two I think that are on eBay are like $200, and this one, the seller wanted like $120 for it, and I went ahead and jumped because there's something here about this card that is different from the one I have. And I do want to try to document what the differences are so that I can at least document it, so that if you have one of the ones that doesn't have what this one does, you might actually be able to install the missing components and get the functionality. And I'll actually go grab the other card and show. Actually, I'll go grab the card now, but I'll let you all ponder this board here and maybe ponder what might be present on this board that is missing from mine. I might or might not be giving any hints here, but anyways, let me go grab the other board here. It's not the card you already have. No, this is the one I just got from eBay. I'm going to go grab the one I already have. Well, so that you see them both side by side. And then you'll see exactly why I bought that one. Oh, wait. Oh. Oh, yeah. It also helps to remember that I moved the motherboard that had the card in it so that I could find it easier. All right, so the one that's going to be on the top is the one I just got on eBay. I can already see that the ROM version on it does appear to be slightly different, so I may be trying to... Oh, hi, Scarlet the Four-Eyed Cuda. Yes, one of these things is not like the other. Actually, I think there might be a second difference between these two cards. I thought they were... Oh, yeah, they actually are more different than I thought. Okay, so maybe it's not possible to upgrade the one from the other, because actually I now see that there are some more major differences. As Jeremy says, I just found a box with, quote, Nostalgia Products trademark on it. Oh, neat. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. Yeah. All right, so let's do it this way. So this is the card that I had bought on eBay sometime early February 2023. It came with the motherboard I tried to repair during my birthday stream last year. Kind of failed miserably and gave up because, reasons. Anyways, so this board does have ATI Mach 64 graphics on it. It has, I think this is 1 meg and then 1 meg upgrade. And then it's got a Vibra 16C sound chip on it. But if you'll note, it had the pads for a YMF 262 and the supporting chips. So here's the one I just got on eBay today. And yes, it is a different part number because the one I originally had was a PCI AV264CT-N. Although the PCBs look like very similar. So here's the board I just got on eBay. And the first thing that I didn't realize when I bought this, although I would have still bought it because I wanted the real OPL chip, this is actually a Vibra 16S. I have a feeling that the sound chip difference may be more... may actually be more important than I realize, and you may not actually be able to install the missing components and it work, because, yeah, they're different sound chips. The Vibra 16C may not even support the external OPL. Anyways, yeah, so there's the original one again. There's the replacement. It is still a Mach 64. I believe it's still 1 meg on board and then an extra 1 megabyte. But yeah, it's the Vibra 16S, and it's got the YMF 262. So I got this because I'd wanted the one that had the actual OPL on it. So, anyways, so I can now see what components are here that are not on the other card, but I can also see that the other card has a different Vibra chip on it. And while it might be possible that the Vibra 16S and the Vibra 16C are otherwise chip compatible, I doubt there's data sheets for those chips because somehow I suspect Creative was probably one of the better companies for keeping their data sheets out of prying eyes. Anyways, well, I do have the card. It's got the OPL3 on it. It'll go in my computer build that uses this Acer or Asus Media Bus card. It does appear to be in decent shape. So there we go. I at least have it. I guess maybe I won't be able to come up with a missing component list because... I mean, maybe I'll still write down what... I'll take some good photos of the two cards, but I suspect it's not as easy to upgrade the one to the other than I think. But anyways, There we go. I've got the one with the OPL3 for my build. And then the last thing that I have from Wheel of Regrets, which will then get to the Quadra 700, because you all have been so patient. I'll put my newly acquired video card. Let me see. Let me set this to the side here. Let's see here. All right, this one will be a little hard to show on screen, but I'll try. So this is this last item I bought. I think it was on February 20th. So I bought it before my self-imposed moratorium. It just took like forever to get here because it was stuck in Richmond for like over a week. But yeah, I got a vintage atomic PC case. This is the eBay seller's tracking sheet. That is like the most humongous barcode I have ever seen. Now, the case in the auction description had this dent in it, so I was expecting this. Also, that dent, though, was keeping me from putting it back together once I took it apart without forcing things I didn't want to, like, force too hard, so that's why the case is, like, taken apart. Alright. So why is this an atomic case? Kim says that's a brick code. Yeah. So I popped the front panel off just so I could inspect things. Anyways, I think they called it an atomic case because of the case badge that was on it. And I know it's completely upside down now. But anyways, yeah, it has this weird case badge on it that has an atomic symbol that I'm so totally going to replace with something from Geek and Spiel. But as you might see, this case is CE mark and Energy Star certified, quote unquote. And we have a nice reset button here. And you might be able to see that there's a window here for a display, which the eBay seller was so quick to point out in the description. But the whole reason I pulled the panel off is because I wanted to know how many digits were on the display that's included. But as you probably could tell by the fact that you can see right through the window, I discovered that the answer to the question, how many digits are on the display that's in this case, is 0. Because, yeah, the seller saw there was a window for the display, but, well, they never actually looked to see if there was a display in the case, which there is not. And in fact, I don't even see signs that there was one, because I don't see any signs that there were ever screws in these posts. So it's not like the seller removed it. I think they genuinely didn't know that it wasn't there. But anyways, as little as I paid for this case, I'm like not going to send it back. Because the thing is, it's got this really cool door that covers the drives. See, there we go. We'll slide that again. And it has like this epic button that might need a little bit of plastic lubricant, but look at that big power button. You could probably turn this thing on when you're half asleep. Plus, yeah, Kib says, who needs a megahertz display anyways? Well, I guess for the computer build I'm doing, not having a display will make it easier. Plus, it has these wonderful drives pre-installed. And in fact, if this 5¼ inch drive works, it might actually be worth what I paid for the case. Because I think I paid $40 for the case. And working 5¼ inch floppy drives are a bit expensive these days. And it is a bit yellowed, but, well, I can work around that. But yeah. I think that's why this case has a door on it. But yeah, it had drives. Yep, they're mismatched. I will so totally, like, not leave that drive there, but Yeah, that would be a quite small display. You are correct. I think I've seen 3-digit displays that are that small, but I think that is probably a 2-digit display. I suspect this is a case design that probably was in production for quite a while, because it's kind of like generic enough that it's not really too dated. But it wouldn't surprise me if this case design is from like the early to mid 90s. It looks like the faceplate was made from a mold, and the date on the mold, because I can see the date stamp on the plastic part, was like October of 96. I could maybe see why they didn't put a megahertz display in it if it really was made that late, because it's made for a 2-digit display, and that's a that'd be kind of late for putting a 2-digit display in a case, because definitely by 96 you've got CPUs that are above 100 megahertz. So I guess I could see why there's no display in the case. They probably didn't include one because this was like probably sold in the case would have been made and sold probably in early to mid 97. So at that point, yeah, probably just as well they didn't put a 2-digit display in it. Anyways, yeah, that's the case. I ordered it like February 20th, and it finally arrived Tuesday. Yeah, go figure. Because it was stuck in Richmond for over a week. Yeah, thank you, Postal Service. You're the greatest. Anyways, yep, that concludes Wheel of Regret. So, do I regret this case? Not really. I mean, I was kind of hoping it had a megahertz display, but then again, I can still put the computer in it that I'm going to put in it. Well, alright. I'll have to futz with the front display later. Or the front bezel later. Alright. Fine. At least put the screws where I can get to them. Alright. Oh, if you're wondering what computer is going in that atomic case, Jeremy says that display is the perfect size for playing Doom. No. I do not agree. Maybe it's because my eyesight gets worse as I get older, but no, I don't agree. I need a slightly bigger monitor for Doom. People are trying to convince me to. No, there's no way you could have fun playing a game on that small of a display. You're not going to convince me. All right, let me see here. Now, what did I do with the case that I'm putting the Quadra 700 in? Good question. I see the top of the case. That does not mean the bottom of the case is anywhere near it. The bottom of the case was over. All right, hold please while I look for the case, because apparently I have misplaced the case because this stream has been scheduled for like 3 weeks. So therefore, I have misplaced half the parts of the project. All right, let me go. Actually, the other thing I don't see, which is really weird. Oh, that's right. I was trying to think of who sent the who some of those boards might have come from that RetroTech Chris sent me. Bill Lewis. That was the name I was trying to think of. But yes, thank you, Bill, and thank you, Chris, again. That I remembered. I know a lot of Bills, so. All right. You would think that it would be really hard to misplace half of a Macintosh. I think, as my grandmother would put it, what's the old time expression? You'd lose your head if it wasn't attached by your neck or something like that. I probably butcher old timey saying, but anyways. Unfortunately, half the reason I'm having trouble finding it is because this is like one of the least Mac-like cases Apple ever designed. Yes, it's a Macintosh 2VX. Oh, part of the reason I can't find it is because I found half of the case I'm looking for. Now I just need to find the other half. Yes, yes, this is what happens when Apple makes a very PC-like case. Oh, is that it? No, that's not it. That's my Emerson 386. Let's see. All right. This is called Dustin Knows It Is Down Here, but moved it to get to something else, and now we can't find it. Because actually, I need the power supply that was in it, because it needs recap. And that was going to be the first thing I was going to do. But, oh, looks like I misplaced half the case. Not sitting beside the G3 and penalty land. Not there. Not there. Not there, sitting on top of Packard Bell. Nope. All right. Okay. Sometimes when I'm looking for something that I've misplaced, it helps to see what everyone in the chat is saying and probably asking if I left it in the ultrasonic cleaner or silly things like that. And then maybe I'll just happen to spot the half the case that I'm looking for. That, to my defense, looks like a PC case with its lots of metal construction, because I'm sure Apple was trying to cut costs by using metal instead of plastic. Go figure. All right, let's see here. Scarlett says, yeah, Scarlett, the four-eyed Cuda says, maybe hook up an Arduino display and have it rotate emoji faces. Oh, Jeremy's saying, just kidding. Okay. Jeremy's probably in agree. Yeah. Okay, Jeremy says, okay, I'll find a projector to beam the image against the side of a house that might still be too small, lol. Well, if you beam it against the side of a tiny house, depending on how close you are, it might still be too small, Jeremy. Kib says, we need 4 projectors. Jeremy says, there are 4 lights. Yes. Unfortunately, I have only one 2VX case and misplaced the part that matters the most. What did I do with it? I mean, I know Apple made like the most PC-like case ever with the 2VX, 2VI, 2X. Quadra 650, blah, 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 blah. But this is ridiculous that I can't identify a Macintosh case in a sea of disassembled PCs. Shame on you, Apple. Shame on you. All right, I guess I'm just going to start buying Apple AirTags for everything. That's it. Everything that looks like a PC case gets an Apple AirTag. That's going to get expensive. Oh, okay. I see it. I finally found it. I was not going crazy. It is still down in the basement. Okay, we're good. Let me go grab it. Anyways, yep, there's the Quadra 700 mother logic board. So I've got the blue SCSI set aside for it. I have a image that I was using with the blue SCSI. There's our 68040 processor. There's the SCSI cable. I don't have any VRAM to add to upgrade it, but I do have, I believe that's 16 megabytes of RAM that you can't see because it's off screen. There we go. Added to, I believe, the 8 megabytes that are on board. I think it's 8. Might be 4. I was thinking it's 8. There is like 256K of VRAM on board. I think there might be, I forget if it's 256K and that you upgrade this up to 1 megabyte, or if it's 512K and you upgrade this up to 2 megabytes, but nah, okay. I'm reading the chips here. I think this is 256 and you upgrade it up to 1 megabyte. So I have to get some, I want to get the Silicon Insider VRAM kit that are in the colors of the old Apple stripe logo. I think that would look cool there, putting them in the correct order. So that you look in your Quadra 700 that's in a Macintosh 2VX case, and oh, they're going to be obstructed by the drive cage anyways. Never mind. So the board's a bit dirty. We'll take care of that later. The important thing is this board does not need to be recapped. There are no electrolytic capacitors on it because Apple did the quality thing and used tantalum caps. So there's the board. Nothing to do there. But the thing is, I didn't have a case for it. And then Garth sent me a 2CI case that I didn't have the heart to use to put the Quadra 700 in the 2CI case, because I would have had to have done a whole lot of dremeling. Because there's the ports are very different between the two. So instead I went to eBay, the place where I buy things I later regret, and I bought this 2VX case. Now, so I guess to tease the later Macintosh content, I think it was sometime last month, I did try to power the 2VX up, and this logic board did not do much of anything. I don't remember what it did. Wasn't much of anything. I don't think we got far enough to see video, but there definitely are leaky caps on this board. And in fact, actually, some of this electrolyte looks very wet. I quite honestly should probably remove those caps tonight. In fact, maybe I should just go ahead and clip them off the board now and be done with it. But that wasn't the theme of tonight's stream. But anyways, so later this month, I will see, for Macintosh, I'll see if we can resurrect this board. I realize it's just a 2VX. But the 2VX, though, at least, even though the processor is like, it's a 32 megahertz processor on a 16 megahertz bus or something silly like that, it at least does have cache. So I am going to try to Yeah, I just need to remove these capacitors now because there is wet electrolyte on this board. Okay, so the method I am going to use to remove these capacitors in an expedited manner is a method that Joe showed me and has been fairly successful for me to remove capacitors. It is a method that can garner some channel engagement, shall we call it. But I am going to steal a phrase from Sawyer Designs. He is a woodworker on YouTube. And I am going to say my capacitors, my removal method. Or actually, I guess if I really wanted to steal his phrase, it would be my capacitors, my problem. Or my logic board, my problem. Now, if you are a woodworker, you might start to think about what his phrase might be, and I'll give you a moment to ponder it. Um, and he does make some quite interesting furniture. He's not like the most prolific video maker because I think his pieces take a while to make. So you might go to his channel and think, "Wow, it's been a while since he's put out a video." But look at actually what he makes, and you'll realize that yeah, the reason why his videos take or there's so long between videos is he makes some quite intricate furniture. So I guess I would have to say if you like furniture, YouTube channels of furniture makers, he's a smaller channel, but it's Sawyer Design Co. or something like that. Anyways, definitely worth a look if you like woodworker YouTube channels. But yeah, his phrase is "my fingers, my problem" when referring to his table saw methods. So, anyways, my logic board, my problem. And I hope the YouTube warning has nothing to do with the fact that you can't hear me. Preparing to see 3 people in the chat saying we can't hear you in like 3, 2, 1, go. Where did I put my side cutters? Oh, where are my side cutters? Oh, there they are. Of course, they're on the floor. The place where everything I can't find inevitably ends up, unless it's like buried under stuff on my workbench. All right. So, the important thing about the way I remove capacitors this way is I am going to give some gentle downward pressure on the top of the cap because I am trying to separate the cap from its base and legs. And the reason I'm removing these from the board is because I'll put this through the ultrasonic cleaner to try to get this active wet electrolyte up that actually, if I just tilt the board, you can probably see that the board looks very wet there. So basically, I'm just trying to stop further leakage. I'm not going to recap this board, but I at least do want to like maximize the chances that I can actually resurrect it. Because because if I can resurrect the board, I'll probably sell it to recoup a little bit of my costs of purchasing everything I needed to put the Quadra 700 in a case, including maybe getting some nice InGen or Jurassic Park property stickers so that I can put on the case so that my Quadra, so it'll be obvious that my Quadra 700 is a Quadra 700 and not just like 2VX. Oh, that's neat. I hadn't realized that Apple put surface mount capacitor pads. Actually, I probably did because it's not like this is the first time I've seen one of these boards. Look at that. There's actually surface mount pads under those capacitors. You know, I might actually try to find surface mount capacitors to put there, because that would be a whole lot easier than trying to get the legs out of that board because of the huge ground plane in that area of the board. All right, let me get these. I think these last two electrolytics here. And then I might even actually, I don't know if that's glue or electrolyte there, but actually, let me go ahead and, even though I didn't really want to work on this board, let me at least scrub some of this electrolyte off, because I don't really want to run the ultrasonic cleaner tonight. But then again, this board kind of needs that. So anyways, let me... All right, let me at least get a little bit of this electrolyte up, and then I might put it through the ultrasonic cleaner tonight while I'm working on this power supply that was in the computer. But I don't want this board to suffer any more damage than it already has. In fact, I guess if I'd realized those capacitors were still leaking, I probably would have removed them a couple weeks ago when I first looked at this board. But I guess I kind of thought that they'd already completely leaked out, and set it aside. All right. This is just basically to kind of mitigate the fact that the capacitors definitely have leaked and there's electrolyte on the board. I don't know. Maybe I'll go ahead and run the ultrasonic cleaner. It might seem weird that I'm like cleaning with isopropyl alcohol to then decide to just put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, but then again, I guess the one thing is, if I'm cleaning it with alcohol and like parts started to fall off the board just from that act, then, well, I probably wouldn't put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. But it doesn't look like I could do much harm in putting it in the ultrasonic cleaner. And it might actually help it, because that'll actually... Oh, except I don't really want to... Alright, I guess if I put it in the ultrasonic cleaner... I have to say, I don't really want to have to put it through the oven and everything. Alright, so I'm not going to put it in the ultrasonic cleaner tonight, but I'll at least try to get the board scrubbed decently well in the areas where electrolyte had leaked. And then I'll just let it dry really good, and then this weekend, if I look at the board and I'm like, no, I think it still needs to go in the ultrasonic cleaner to make sure that the electrolyte is off the board to stop the damaging effects, then I'll do that like this weekend. Because I don't feel like having to go put this in the oven or somewhere to dry it and have to wait for it, because it's not like I can set something like this and forget it. I mean, I'll have to set it and let it come up to temperature and run a minute or two and then turn it off. And usually after the stream, I just want to like go to bed because I have to work tomorrow. So I'll save ultrasonic cleaning for the weekend, but at least this will help. All right, and actually looking at it, all right, at least the one thing I was afraid of when I saw the egret was it was going to be an egret of regret, but It looks like the egret chip might clean up. Oh, and good. There was something under that one capacitor there, but I think it might have just been glue or something. All right. Okay. All right. So at least the capacitors are off this board. I at least gave it a little bit of a scrub. I'm going to go over to where I've got a spray bottle of isopropyl alcohol and kind of wet the board down a little more and let it, I guess, drain the, kind of set it this way and let it drain down the board this way to try to wash the electrolyte off the board this way. Kind of because since the electrolyte was mainly pooled down here, at least it'll kind of wash it. Because I don't want to go through the trouble of like ultrasonically cleaning and having to dry this board tonight. And it's not warm enough outside to just set it outside overnight. Okay. So the 2VX board, because the thing is, I bought an entire 2VX for this project to steal its case. Because the 2CI that Garth sent me was just too nice to cut holes in for the Quadra 700, so the 2CI case that Garth sent me is going to stay a 2CI case. I'm going to put my 2CI in it because my 2CI case is in really rough shape. I mean, maybe you might convince me to turn my old 2CI case into a Quadra 700 to make it look a little closer to what the Quadra 700 looked like, but for now, I'm just going to use this 2VX case. And it would be helpful if someone said something in the chat to let me know that I'm, like, people can hear me. I mean, it's possible the YouTube chat is being mean to me. In fact, you can just literally say the word something, and then I'll know you heard me. Although, just in... Oh. Yes, I'll have to let Mr. President know that I scheduled my stream first. Thank you very much. Maybe that's what everyone's watching. I don't know. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I'm on. Oh, wait a minute. I just noticed something about the chat. Oh, wait a minute. All right, let me catch up on chat because I just had a whole bunch of chat messages come in all at once. Let's see. Vborg. Hi, Vborg. Welcome. Let's see here. Joe says, I heard my name. What did I break? Oh, Joe, I was letting everyone know that you'd taught me the capacitor removal method that I just used. There's the pile of capacitors there that I removed off a board. No, it wasn't the twist method. It was the cut them at the base method. Oh, I think my internet must have been glitchy. In fact, everyone's saying that it's buffering all of a sudden. Because I just had a whole bunch of chat messages come in all at once. It probably is Comcast. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Oh, yeah. I just bothered to look down at my OBS stats. Hold on 1 minute. This may not be something I can fix. Yeah, I just realized. I normally am streaming at like 7,000 kilobits per second. I've gone down to like less than half that. I am dropping frames like crazy. Yeah, this is probably definitely Comcast. I don't know if I can fix this. I think about the best thing I can do is... Let me see here. Oh, can I... let me see if I can do anything about the bitrate going up, because I didn't realize I thought YouTube was just warning me about the audio bitrate, but it's actually warning me about the video bitrate. Actually, I don't think I can fix this. Yeah, yeah, my internet's acting up. Okay. I cannot change, all right. The best I can try, and it's probably going to make my video go down to potato quality. I cannot change the resolution of the stream, although that would be frowned upon by the YouTube algorithm. I can see what happens if I change my video bitrate closer to something that I'm able to achieve. All right. Let me catch up on chat, and maybe that'll let things catch up. Although I am still dropping frames. That did not help one bit. Okay. Let me catch up on... All right, so... We got Vborg joined. Let's see. Sadmax says it's ultimately whatever method works for you with the least damage. Yes, indeed. Kib says if you twist them, I'll faint. I do not twist them. I do not twist them. Jeremy says Comcast Magic. It would be Comcast Anti-Magic. I'm actually going onto the Comcast app now. Whoop. To see if there is like a service outage in my area, or if this is maybe related to attached. Yeah, no one would subscribe to it if they advertise their up speed. It's like in the kilobits per second, I think. Yeah, I was that in 2020 when I decided to buy a detached house. I guess it was the end of 2019. The fact that I knew that there would probably be a higher likelihood of fiber to my townhouse before fiber here, but wanting getting the detached house one out. Vborg remembers having 246K / 128K ADSL and thinking that was screaming fast. X says my house was built in 2006 or so. This one was built in 2004. Hibbs says my uncle's SIM card based router gets higher speeds in the right place. Ouch, I know. Jeremy says, I tried reaching out to Justin by means other than this chat. Jeremy, the problem is when I am streaming, Discord is in streamer mode, which means no badoops. No badoops, and my vision of the notification number in the system taskbar is obstructed. I am sorry about that. My calipers were in the way. I could move the calipers. Then I would not be able to find them next time I need them. Windows directly on the internet. That's a great idea. Yeah, Jack. That sounds like a really great idea. Gutbomb says, I have 1 gigabyte Fios and consistently get faster than 1 gigabyte. It's great. I'll send some of that Fios this way. Hi, Sloopy. Welcome. My internet has turned to potato, so I'm trying to catch up with the chat that just like all stormed in at the same time. Let's see here. We have Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. Hi, Dave. Welcome. Yeah, Comcast is not doing too hot at the moment. Yes, I am buffer stream. I'm about to go try to restart my cable modem, but I don't think that's going to fix anything. Hi, Apples Anonymous. Welcome. Welcome to the potato stream. Yeah, it's lagging, it's buffering, and it's my internet connection. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, whoa. I think my internet might have fixed itself. I can probably go change the bitrate back. Let me let it catch up a little bit. Because yeah, now the bitrate suddenly went from like under 3,000 kilobits per second all the way up to like 18,000, 19,000 kilobits a second. So yeah, I think maybe OBS is finally catching up. So maybe I don't need to restart the cable modem. Maybe I just need to wait for it to stabilize here. Yeah. Okay. It also worries me when the bitrate goes way, way, way higher than I've set it. But let me go set my bitrate setting back up because I think whatever problem Comcast was having might have been a temporary thing. All right, let me finish catching up with the chat, and maybe my internet will be back to not buffering so bad. Yeah, it's not you, it's Comcast. Jeremy told I've been buffering for the past 20 minutes, possibly longer than that, because as I said, I thought everyone got. The thing is, depending on the time of night, the chat just kind of stops because I guess people go from actively participating to lurking. I kind of thought that happened earlier tonight because I knew that the State of the Union address was tonight, but apparently it was probably my internet, and it was preventing the chat from updating because I just had all these messages come in all at once. Yeah. Oh, and now my audio is gone crackly. Great. Yeah, you've been chatting away, and my internet was hot. Toast says it's been buffering for an hour. Oh. It stopped buffering now. Audio is choppy. Okay. Well. Okay. Let's see if I can't fix the crackly audio at least. No, the crackly audio is having to reboot my webcam. Although that's weird because my audio's not. I need. Yeah, Jeremy says his stream is now flowing through a pipe half the normal size. What Comcast tech support would tell you. Yeah, for some reason the OBS is telling me that my bitrate is set for 7,000 and my bitrate is like all over the map. All right, I've caught up with chat. I apologize for not keeping up with the chat. Why am I apologizing for Comcast though? Okay, I'm not apologizing for Comcast, but I am going to apologize for not realizing that my bitrate had dropped, although I don't know that there's much I could have done about it because it's probably all on Comcast. While I'm at it, I should reset my webcam again because the audio is crackly. Great. All right, let me restart the webcam again. Okay, did that fix the audio any? Also, it does look like my bitrate has stabilized a bit more. All right. All right, well, I'm not apologizing for Comcast, but I will apologize for maybe not realizing that the reason my chat stopped was because Comcast was being Comcastic. You know, kind of how quickly they ditched that advertising slogan? Like who at Comcast thought it was a great idea to make their slogan that we're Comcastic? Dave says video is much better watching set to 720. Yeah. Unfortunately, bitrate's set when you start streaming. Oh, and it is quite possible some of that. While I did blame Comcast, but it is quite possible that some of that was on YouTube too. Because at least my bitrate settled down, but I suspect it was more likely Comcast than YouTube. But all right, hopefully it's better. I apologize for the unnecessary apology because it's not like I went to Comcast and said, "Hey, by the way, can you make my bitrate suffer at 9:30 and do it in a way that I don't notice till 10:30?" Because believe me, I'm pretty sure if I'd asked Comcast to do that, they probably would have made the bitrate start to suffer at 9:30 this morning and not fix it till 10:30 tomorrow morning because they would have misinterpreted. All right, so yeah, this is the power supply that was in the 2VX. As I should say, warning, this is not a how-to live stream on how to recap a power supply. This is for entertainment purposes only. There are dangerous voltages inside of power supplies. If you don't know what you're doing, ask a friend or someone that knows what they're doing inside a power supply for help. This power supply has not been powered on for weeks. I think I did try to power it up a couple weeks ago, but it has been off for weeks. So I know that any voltages inside of it have discharged. But I need to inspect this power supply because I highly suspect it needs recapped. I have been uncrackled. Yay! Except I'm afraid my chat might have gone to... seems fine now. Yeah, my bitrate is definitely very stable. Fun fact, apparently my OBS metric for dropped frames is 33,506 frames, which apparently is 21.9% of them. Ugh. Great. All right, well... All right, so I guess my first Macintosh stream is off to a Comcastic start. Because I'm pretty sure their advertising slogan, "It's Comcastic," probably got very old very quick of all their customers calling customer service and saying how Comcastic they were. And if you're so Comcastic, now would you please come fix my service? All right, this power supply is really dirty. It looks like this computer was maybe stored somewhere where power computers probably are not normally stored. Apples Anonymous says, "Ooh, I'm 7 minutes behind playing in squirrel mode." Well, I don't know how bad the on-demand playback will be, but well, I guess I always knew that there was going to be some night where Comcast was just going to decide to drop the ball on internet service, and tonight's apparently the night. Or I guess, if I was going to keep the theme of the stream, I could equate Comcast to being Nedry, and my internet was going for a while. You didn't say the magic word. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe Nedry works for Comcast. Maybe that's it. There we go. Actually, the only other thing I didn't think of was to go onto the community Facebook group, which I am curious now. Now that I just thought of that, let me see if anyone in the neighborhood was complaining about internet. Because there's no better place to learn about an internet outage than the subdivision's Facebook group. Oh, surprisingly, no one was complaining about it. Okay. Maybe it was a little bit more limited. Yes, Joe says, I'm on Global Talk for Macintosh and my printer is being sent all kinds of weird random things. I'm not putting any of my printers on Global Talk, but I will send cool things to other printers that are on Global Talk whenever I get a chance to set it up. Jack says, I was too, but YouTube didn't think so until just recently. When I jumped to live, everything was fine, finally. Dave said, yep, I just hit 500 subs on Dave's stream Sunday. Yes. Jack's going to set up his computer on Global Talk and join the fun. Yay! Oh, now Apple's Anonymous. I think Dave was saying that I hit 500 subs on his stream. I don't know. Although maybe Dave did gain 500 subs, but I hit 500 subs on Dave's stream. So I was on Dave's stream when I crossed the 500 mark. So yes, I guess for those of you that just joined now, that yes, thank you, Jack. I'm actually in the YouTube partner program now, so you might have noticed that yes, there's the super chat and super thanks and all that cool stuff. But I do still have the coffee goal because I still have the coffee goal for VCF East because of it. The soonest I'd get a payout from YouTube is after VCF East. So I still have the coffee goal. Link is in the description. But probably after VCF East, I will probably. I mean, I'm not going to get rid of the coffee, but I'll probably downplay it. But I'll still have it. But anyways, yeah. I still have the coffee goal for VCF East because that's the best way to track my progress towards that goal, as well as to actually have it before VCF East so that I could actually do the things that I'm going to do. Anyways, yes. Jeremy says, for those that think not having fiber available but have cable instead, well, my new house doesn't even have that available. Either satellite or T-Mobile, that's it. Wow. Apple's Anonymous is still in dial-up. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so what am I oh, yeah, that's right. I was looking at this power supply to inspect it. Squirrel. It probably just needs recap. I mean, this board here is like really grungy dirty. It I mean, I don't see any signs of electrolyte leakage, but then again, on the one board, but then again, this board here, because the weird thing is the way these power supplies are, this is actually, this board here is the one that'd be on the top, and this one here is the one that's on the bottom. And while this board looks clean, and I don't really see any signs of electrolyte leakage, this one here is dirty because I guess wherever this was stored, this is would have been where anything that like leaked in would have settled. And this looks like downright awful. And quite honestly, I'm thinking under some of this dirt there might actually be electrolyte. So I'm thinking these caps might have actually leaked. Or at least the one good thing is that there is not a refa capacitor on this board. May also need to check to make sure so this glue is not conductive, but I think I'm going to go ahead and remove the caps on this board and recap it. Apples Anonymous says, "Oh, Justin at 500? Who's Justin?" uh, yeah, sometimes I have to ask that myself. Oh, I suspect there's Dalit providers here too. Actually, I kind of thought America Online still offered Dalit service. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they finally stopped. I know Earthlink finally stopped offering dial-up service. And maybe America Online did too. And mind you, by America Online offering dial-up service, I'm not meaning through their like graphical interface. I think they might have switched to like dial-up internet. I thought I heard that somewhere that they still offered dial-up internet at least for a while, but it wasn't through their like GUI client. It was just a dial-up provider. Because I think they finally at one point had changed their GUI client from the GUI client being the internet access program to the GUI client was basically you could get America Online with like without buying internet access from them. So their GUI client basically became a way to browse the America Online. I don't know. I It's been a while since I've used America Online to know, but I thought they still offered dial-up access at least for quite a while. Um, what was I? Oh, that's right. I was going to go get the cap kit for this power supply. Hold, please. Okay, I do need to double check this is the right cap kit. I'm pretty sure that Jack says, I wonder if anyone has done a Naboo style reverse engineering of AOL's protocol so we could all use AOL 3.0 again. I don't know. All right, so this is a Delta LR. Oh no, this might actually be the wrong cap kit. Oh wait, no, I think it's the right one. Let me double check on. You've got mail. Let me check. Because it would have been totally something I'd. Because actually, I may have looked at the power supply too quick and might have not ordered the cap kit when I thought I had it. This is a Delta SMP 120EB LR 57908C. Oh, okay, this is the right cap kit. All right, here we go. Well, yeah, Jeremy says, I still don't have a Naboo. Apple's Anonymous says, I don't have a Naboo. I don't want a Naboo. And this is where I confess I sold my Naboo. It was not bringing me joy. Jeremy says, I want a Naboo to use in its intended purpose and to try to get it to run MSX stuff. Dave says, I have a Naboo. I must, says it must be built like a tank. Yeah. Or, well. Yeah, I'm not knocking the build construction or anything, but it just kind of was no longer bringing me joy, so I sold it. Those of you, I'm sure someone that was enterprising enough might kind of realize why it might have not been bringing me joy and why I just kind of wanted to move along from certain things, and we'll just leave it like that. Jack says, I got a Naboo to be one of the cool kids, and well, I accomplished part of the goal. I have a Naboo. Well, I got the Naboo because someone convinced me that it would be great channel content. I'm not going to identify who that person was because they don't deserve to have their name mentioned. So I guess it wasn't bringing me joy because I realized who ultimately convinced me to buy it, and I just decided I no longer wanted to have any part of it, so I sold it. It did go to someone in the community, and I only sold it for what I had in it, so I wasn't looking to make a profit on it. I only wanted to get out of it what I had in it. So don't worry. I didn't scalp it. Yeah, Jack said that guy must have made a boatload of money. Yes. And I'm hoping that, well, I mean, To the person who bought them all like years and years ago as surplus network adapters that no one wanted, I guess his gamble paid off. He probably thought he was going to have these Naboo things, as he might have put it, for the rest of his life, and then Adrian Black gets a hold of one, and well, boom. Everyone wants one. And then yeah, I don't know how Adrian. Oh, actually, Adrian being from Canada, maybe that's how he eventually stumbled on it. I don't know. Yeah. So to the person who bought them all those years ago, and I guess finally has sold most of them. I think he still has a couple of them on his eBay store. Although they're definitely not as cheap as they were. And yes, I realize that selling my Naboo means I won't ever get one as cheaply if I ever decide to change my mind. But well, yeah, that's the risk I took. Anyways, yeah, I hats off to him for taking the gamble of buying those Naboos. His gamble paid off. It might have took longer to get there than he thought it might, but his gamble paid off. I mean, when he bought them, he took the gamble that they might have never sold. Yeah, the original Naboo seller I think still has some. I think he went down to selling them slower, but for more money, because I don't think he has that many. Yeah, now 139 plus shipping. Yeah. Jack says, I'm super curious what else someone is sitting on a stockpile of, just waiting for the right moment. Apple Lisa's! No, just kidding. I don't think I'd want to be sitting on that stockpile. I don't know. I thought of that because I saw on the exceedingly overpriced group. Oh yeah, that someone had posted apparently MacFX made some Lisa faceplates. So someone had posted in the exceedingly overpriced group the non-original Lisa faceplates that apparently are like $10,000 a piece or something like that. And they're like, why do they only have 10 of these, and why are they so expensive? And I don't think anyone had noticed that they weren't just standard Lisa faceplates that MacFX had made reproductions of. They were the Twiggy drive faceplates that MacFX had made reproductions of, and I attempted to point that out, but I'm probably pretty sure I didn't convince anyone that for what they were, they probably weren't exceedingly overpriced, and the reason why they only made 10 of them is probably because that's all they could justify risking their money on making molds to make faceplates of. I don't know how many Twiggy Drive Lisas there are still out there, but probably not enough to make more faceplate molds. Oh, Apple's Anonymous says, I have about 50 iBook G3, G4s, white models. Anyone? And Jeremy says, I have a G4. I think I've got two G4, or I've got some as well already. I just haven't shown them on the channel yet. Maybe we'll look at them later this Macintosh. Alright, while I get some of these caps off this board here. So, what do we have to look forward to this Macintosh? Alright, well, I want to get the Quadra 700 in a 2VX case. That'll involve getting this power supply working. I also would like to try to get my Power Mac G3 desktop working so that I don't have to like leave it in the corner back there, because that's no place for a Macintosh to be in timeout in the corner. But so I did order some caps from Console 5, so thank you for the tips I got during my birthday stream last week. That's how I was able to get some cap kits from Console 5, although I did forget to order one, I believe, but at least I got most of what I needed. So later this month I hope to take a look at the G3 desktop and the Quadra 700, and I really hope that I can get back to the Mac Plus as well, because I would like to take my Mac Plus to VCF East. I need a case for it, although I think Frank has a case, or the way it was communicated, Frank thinks he has a case, but he's got to, he'll have to check his storage unit, so. But yeah, I'd like to take that Mac Plus, but I can't take it in its current condition. It's like not, in fact, in its current condition, it's really not safe to carry around the basement because the original case is that broken. But I would like to take that Mac Plus to VCF East. So hopefully Frank does have that case, and I'll get it in time for Macintosh. Because that'd be cool to get that Mac back up and running. The G3 desktop is just a Macintosh project. The G3 desktop's not going to VCF East. It's newer than I want to take. So I've started writing a blog post I'll publish at some point. I thought I had a list of computers, and then the more I typed, the more I realized I haven't really settled on my final list yet. And then I got tired of typing a long blog post in Word on my phone, so yeah. So I'll be posting a blog post probably this weekend on Ko-fi and Patreon. I'll probably publish it as exclusive for a couple days, and then I'll make it public. But it's basically kind of it's my list of all the computers that are potential to take to VCF, and I've kind of divided them between my primary list and my backup list. But I'm only going to target taking like 6. So my primary list is longer than 6. So that's not good. Anyways, I'll publish it. So I guess maybe once I publish it, I'd like your all's help on maybe trying to whittle my primary list down to 6. But yeah, the G3 desktop it's not on the primary or the backup list. It's just a Macintosh project. The Quadra 700, I don't know, it might make my backup list. Because, quite honestly, there's some parts about it that I think I might be able to get it running better than... Jack says nobody puts Mac in a corner. Haha! Gupom says, I just got a G4 iBook. Apple's Anonymous, just one. Well, anyways, I have the cap kit from Console 5 for my G3 desktop. I'm hoping that will fix the problem I'm having with the video by recapping it. Because if that doesn't fix the video, then I'm probably going to have to get a new logic board for it. Because if it's not the caps, then it's probably the GPU, and I'm just going to have to replace the logic board. Which would be a shame, because I've already had so many things that were in that computer fail, because I think it was just that improperly stored, and I'm afraid the logic board is just going to be another victim. But anyways, the G3 desktop's not going to VCF East. I got too many other cool things to take that it's not even on the backup list. The Quadra 700 I think might be on the backup list just because Jurassic Park. Oh yeah, the one computer though, you all are probably wondering, the talking 286 I have. Yeah, it's on the primary list. In fact, it's like one of the computers I have that's so close to done. It's probably a sure bet at being at VCF East. So if you want to actually see the Talking 286, it will probably be at VCF East because I think I'll have it finished. Actually, I could probably put it back together and take it just as it is right now, and people would be happy. But I've got some. You might remember last week I showed off the sound card I have for it. I did order, and the reason I ordered them is because I considered it parts to finish the project for VCF East. I did order some SAA 1099p chips for the sound card. I've already programmed the gals, so I hope to actually have a Game Blaster compatible sound card by the time I get those sound chips. But yeah, the 286, that Talking 286, I'm pretty sure will be at VCF East. It's like, because other than putting those chips on the sound card that I would like to do, because it'd be cool to have that sound card in that state in the computer, because I'll put some cool games that use the game, was it the Game Blaster or the Creative Music System? Yeah, Creative Music System. I'll put a couple Creative Music System games on it. But yeah, the Talking 286. I want to take that to VCF East. I think you all. It's actually kind of one that I think the chat asked to be at VCF East the other day. So there. I'll tip my hat. That's one that's on the primary list. And barring like some catastrophic accident with the computer, it'll be there. I'm having trouble getting the solder out of these through holes. Now, one computer I would love to take, but unfortunately, it's not even on the backup list because it needs too much work. And realistically, because I'm having so much trouble reaching coffee goals, I don't. I'll put it. It would be a stretch goal to be able to get it fixed because it probably needs like $100 of parts on its own. I would love to have computer at VCF East. However, my ballpark estimate is that it needs like $100 of parts on its own. So, short of some mysterious benefactor that really wants to see computer there, I don't see computer making it to VCF East. Just because it needs, there's so many logic chips in it that I need to replace, and I think I really need to replace all the sockets on it. So actually, I think it's more than $100. It quite possibly is closer to like $200 of parts because I need to replace the sockets on the motherboard because it's suffering from bad sockets and bad logic chips. So, unfortunately, I don't think computer is going to make it. It's not going to be ready. Computer will just have to be like for next year's VCF East. Or something later this year. All right. But I do I will thank Joe in advance. He's if you remember, I had one of his A2 vidjas, and the production sample cable wasn't long enough. Joe is going to hook me up with a longer ribbon cable. So thank you, Joe. Which actually is a side note. I guess my Apple IIe will be at VCF East. That'll be the other one I'll tip my hat on. So and the reason I'm taking that is it fits the theme of my table. So actually the cool thing is if you're at VCF East, you can even well, it'll have the A2 Vidya in it. What do you know? So Joe, if you're kind of listening in the background, yeah, your ribbon cable's gonna help me get my 2E buttoned up for VCF East. That's why I was asking you what it would take to get a production cable. So thank you, Joe, in advance. Now, will I have to slap a Dell monitor on top of the Apple IIe, or will I pull off some really cool shenanigan of having a VGA monitor beside the original composite monitor on top? Well, now that will just have to wait and see if I can manage to get the composite monitor working, because I think that'd be neat. So oh yes. I am very much looking forward to being at VCF East. I'm actually very much glad that I unintentionally talked Retro Tech Chris into going, because that means I've got a road buddy. I think I might also be seeing that some of my problems in getting this cap out was the fact that it had glue on it. There we go. Oh, I bet it was the glue. That's probably why I had so much trouble getting it out. Anyways, I hope to see some of you all at VCF East. I don't know if I'll be able to make it to any other events this year, because, well, kind of when I looked at events I could go to, it's kind of VCF East is the easy one for me. It's kind of the also the one that Well, yeah. Anyways, I don't know that I'm gonna be able to make it to any other VCF events this year. Certainly not as an exhibitor. I think East is probably the only one I can really exhibit at. It's the well, Dave's trying to say VCF Midwest, but the uh, I don't know that I will have the thing is they haven't announced dates. Or at least I haven't seen them announce dates. And it's I don't know. I don't know that I'm just I don't know that I will be able to afford to go to VCF Midwest. It's kind of the whole distance of it. I would love to go to VCF Midwest, but I don't know that it's in the cards for this year. This was kind of looking like a one event year. As much as I would like to do two, at the moment, one event kind of still seems to be the number I can reasonably achieve this year. I don't know. Maybe things will change later in this year and I'll be able to make it to VCF Midwest, but at the moment it's just kind of not looking hopeful for that. Believe me, if I can find a way to make VCF Midwest work, I will try to go. I'm not sure at this present time I can make it work. And it also has to do with part of the reason why my list of computers is so long is because I have a lot of the computers on my primary list. There's like, if I look at what's wrong with them, like my list of computers isn't just like a simple list of, oh yeah, I'd like to take this computer and that computer. I actually listed out like, why do I want to take the computer? Like, what purpose does it serve? And like, what does it need done to it? And once I started listing that out for the computers, I realized, there's a bunch of these computers on the primary list that are like, I don't think I can get them working by mid-April. Like, yeah, I want to take it, but I don't think I can get it working. And even on the secondary list, there's a bunch that are like, the backup list is like, a lot of them are like the computers that have even more work that need to be done to them. It's like, except maybe the SGI Octane that's like on the bottom shelf of this workbench. It's on the backup list because it's so heavy. That, and I'm kind of afraid that System Source will send lots of SGIs again this year, so. Oh, believe me, I actually had thought of bringing my SGI for the sole purpose of getting some help from an SGI expert into maybe getting it to boot IRIX. But I don't know that my desire to get it to boot IRIX outweighs the me having to carry a really, really heavy computer. So, yeah. Its presence at VCF Midwest or at VCF East will determine which desire won out. The desire to get IRIX booting, or the desire for to not wreck my back for the whole weekend. Jeremy's asking, don't I have the Apple tilting green phosphor monitor? Yes, I do. But that's not the monitor. That's not the monitor I want to take to VCF East, because it it's the wrong monitor for what I want to set up. Although, yeah, I guess I could use it, but it's the wrong monitor. Oh, and Jack's saying that VCF Midwest is a tad earlier this year. Oh, that might actually be. Oh, yay! I finally got that capacitor out. Oh, actually. Oh, actually, I think this capacitor might have been leaking. Or maybe that's flux. One of the. Oh, it might be flux. Never mind. That's probably flux. Alright. Let's measure these caps now that I finally got them out. If I can find my capacitorometer. What did I do with my capacitor meter? Alright, hold please while I look for my LCR meter that has obviously run away now that it knows that I would like to test the caps and see how good or bad they are. Alright, well, I'll set them to the side. I don't know where it is. Okay. VCF Midwest is September 7th through 8th this year, which is early based on the way the calendar falls. Oh, okay. Alright, there's one other capacitor on this board. C1, C2, and C807. Let me... Yes, it would certainly be nice if they'd announced locations, that's for sure. I know they're trying to do the announcement right, but... Thing is, the sooner I know when it is and where it is, the sooner I can start planning if I was going to be able to try to make it. I'm sure I'm not the only one in that boat that really needs to know when it is sooner rather than later to start even planning to make sure you can make it. Step one, I got to make sure what's going on at work that week. I guess the days before and after that weekend, depending on when I can travel. Step two, well, kind of probably got to figure out fairly quickly, is that a drivable distance or am I going to have to fly? Because if I got to fly, then I need an airline ticket sooner rather than later before the fares go up. Although I think someone at work did tell me, because I happened to make a comment that VCF Midwest was in the Chicago area and I'd probably have to fly. They did let me know that, hey, our local airport did start offering direct flights to Chicago again. So I guess at least that's a positive. I could fly directly out of the local airport. Although it'd be cheaper if I flew out of like Richmond or Dulles, but sometimes it's worth it to pay a bit more to just take a direct flight from your local airport. Because I think they told me it's a direct flight to Chicago. So I'm like, there's that. Oh, Jeremy's planning for a generalized trip to the Chicago area at this point. Yeah, I gotta. Well, I don't have a cargo van, and B, well, I'd just probably fly there and. Because I don't know it's a distance I would want to drive. Oh, there we go. The capacitor came right out. Yay. Alright. I still don't know where the meter is, but... Alright, the old capacitors are out on this board. Now let me see if I can, clean this board up. Yeah, Jeremy says it's free. Well... Oh, there is that. Not... Let me put it this way. When I plan trips like that, I do usually have to calibrate my trip based on the... Will my grandparents worry about it? Well, let's just say I think they would worry less about me, flying out to Chicago and staying in an actual hotel. And yes, I worded that. Which will they worry less about? Not necessarily what... I'm sure they'll worry for me traveling anywhere, but which will they worry less about? Alright. Well, that one side of the board looks cleaner than it was. Alright, the reason why I haven't detached these boards is because I'm actually half tempted to try to power this up after replacing these caps and seeing if it, like, powers up. Because it was this board that looked nasty. This board looks fine. So, if, for the purposes of tonight's live stream, if I can get it to power up with just recapping the one board, then that's where I'll leave it at. But I do have my usual all or nothing recapping policy, just because it helps me keep track of what I've done and what I haven't. So, I mean, I will, since I started recapping this power supply, I will recap the whole thing, just because it's easier to track that way. But for tonight's stream, I'll go ahead and see what it does after I replace these three caps. Because it is like 11:30. Jack says, free is a very appealing aspect. Yes, I will agree. Free is definitely an appealing aspect. But there's also the I don't want my grandparents to worry about me too much. I mean, they already have their health issues as it is, and I think this month they even celebrate their anniversary. I'll have to look up which one it is. For some reason, I want to say their anniversary is in March. I'll have to go look at the calendar. Actually, I think Grandma's birthday might be in March too. Now that I think about it, but yeah, we'll just say that they've got enough other stuff to worry about. I don't need them to worry about me any more than they need to. Hi, Retrotech Chris. You missed me going through the stuff you sent me. Although Chris, I know you'll understand, but I'd already opened the box when I got it to talk myself out of buying something on eBay, and that worked. So I knew you'd understand. I did not fall for the potential eBay regret because there was something very similar in the box. So I'm kind of glad I opened it early because that saved me a potential regret. And now I'm looking for paper towels, and something tells me I have no paper towels down here. Urgh. Okay, might need to go to the grocery store and get paper towels. Busy day today. Chris says, so I guess I'd better make a video this weekend. Well, I probably need to at least make a Commodore thing, or are you keeping up with the Macintosh thing for Dave this weekend? So I'll have to put that on my list. Alright, I'm trying to find a paper towel or something that resembles a paper towel so I can, or I'll just wait for the isopropyl alcohol to finish flashing off. Alright. Yeah, I did find I found the MPEG card. I think it's actually like an ISDN modem. Like an ISDN video conferencing modem or something. I'll have to look it up. So now if someone asks me if I've ever seen an ISDN modem, I can say yes. Not only have I seen one, I have one. Would you like to take a look at it? And they'll probably say no, thank you. And then they'll probably think I'm weird and, like, walk away slowly. Actually, they probably know I'm weird. Oh, Chris says, if I don't make a video, I will get kicked out of the partner program, apparently. Oh. Well, then, you should probably make the video. But yes, yes. Why do I always... Alright. Why do I always doubt which way the capacitors go every time I do this? I don't know. Okay. Yes. So, yes, I guess for, yeah, Thomas Armstrong says T1 modem. Oh, yeah, Chris says, that's right, I found the pinout for that. It's a video conferencing thing. Well, Chris, we'll look forward to your video that... whatever it's on. I'm sure you'll find something cool to share with us. Maybe the Pac-Man PC, maybe the... I think you were saying some video that's a companion of another video you made. I don't know. I'm sure you'll find something creative. Chris says, I got an AliExpress CGA card in the mail today. Well, that could make an interesting video. Maybe. Actually, there was something I've been meaning to ask you, Chris, but, there is a YouTuber that I am subscribed to. I think it might be, like, the CRT dude. Which YouTuber is it? Here I am, I'm trying to remember, but, and here I am. I'm about to ask you something, and I know what your reply is going to be. Like, why are you asking me to remember something? Nope, that's not it. Hold on. I'm trying to remember what the channel name is. Okay, it's not the cathode ray dude. That's not it. Come on. Come on, brain. Think. All right. Wait a minute. Is that because the... All right, let me look at the chat because maybe you're yeah. Yeah. Chris says you have a better memory than me. We have proven that. Yeah, except I am having trouble remembering what the name of the channel is. Oh, it'll come to me. But all right, probably when it comes to me, like 5 minutes after I end the stream, I'll send you a text because you might still be up. Basically, I was going to ask you if you maybe what's the question? Actually, I was going to ask Chris if he maybe realized exactly where this YouTuber was located. Because I was basically that if we ever have some like get together, I think they might be just close enough that we might should like invite them. And of course, since I can't remember which YouTuber I'm talking about, well, I'm now going to have to go remember which one it is because I was just browsing my my list of subscribed YouTube channels and I can't find them, which might mean that I've seen their videos and didn't realize that I wasn't subscribed. No, okay, no, not Retro Bits. I know, I do know about, yeah, Retro Bits is the one that I suspected you already know about. Because I have an idea about where Retro Bits is. No, it's a different YouTuber. I tried scrolling my subscribed channels. I didn't see it right offhand. Their channels must be named something different. That I don't think it's Retro Frog. Maybe it's probably a channel that I didn't realize that when YouTube suggested their video, I might have not realized I was actually on suggested videos, and I thought I was viewing like subscribed videos. I have a feeling I'm not subscribed to them, and I thought I was, because I don't see a channel in my list that looks like what I thought their channel name was. Also, I'm like subscribed to like 27 bazillion channels that have the word retro in their names, so there is also that problem of trying to look for channels that with common words in their name of like retro. Yeah. Yeah, I'll let you know which one it is as soon as I remember. I can't remember which one it is. What do you know? And here you were saying, commenting on my memory, and I can't remember which YouTuber it is now that I've tried to look. All right. Let me let that dry for a moment, and then I'll reassemble this enough to test it. Good one, Chris. Yeah, yeah, Chris just Chris is going to rebrand. Yeah. Um, I don't know. We might worry about you if you change your name to the one you sent me, Chris. All right, let's put this back together enough to test. Let's see if the replacing those caps maybe made it work. Jeremy says, see why I chose vintage over retro. Well, Jeremy, I thought you picked vintage because of VHS. Because if you had picked retro, it would be RHS, which isn't anything that I can think of. Unless you were going for like Jeremy's RMS, Royal Majesty's Ship. But then I don't know where you'd be going with that unless you're talking about technology that should be boat anchors. But I mean, I don't know. That could be an interesting second channel. Yeah, Jeremy's RMS Tech, where we talk about computers that should have just been turned immediately into boat anchors. I'm sure there's a couple of those out there. Yeah, Jeremy says that too. Yeah. Actually, I think I've subscribed to a number of channels that have vintage in the name as well. But I think retro might win over vintage. Yeah, retro wins over vintage. Because for vintage, it's 2. Unless you expand the V in VCF, and then it's 3. Wait a minute. Why am I only subscribed to VCF Southwest? I thought I was subscribed to VCF East. Oh, that's weird. I don't think YouTube is showing me all of my subs at the moment. That might be why I can't find the channel I was looking for. I think YouTube is not listing the entire all my subscribed channels, because I know I'm subscribed to VCF East, at least, which would mean that I'm subscribed to 4 channels with vintage in the name, because we'll logically expand the V and VCF, so that gives me 4. But I believe it's like 20 or more channels with retro in the name. Jack says vintage boat anchors. Jack, that's a nice play on Visual Basic for applications. Thomas says the vintage beat. Hey, now that could be an interesting channel name. Yeah, Jeremy says we work on boat anchors for Pete's sake. Chris says I had thought about rebranding to the Retro Journey, but that doesn't solve the problem. Yeah. All right. Let me put the isolator sheet back on. I don't know which way it's supposed to go, but I'm pretty sure it'll isolate either way. Actually, I think it goes on that way because of the way the plastic's bent. Turn that off. Let me turn this on. Turn my fan off. There we go. Now I can actually hear all of the other noises in the basement that... Wait a minute. That doesn't seem right. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Because... Why did that not seem right? It's because I need to put 2 screws back in first. Oh, alright. Chris just linked the thread on the ISDN card. Cool. Someone had found the pinout, too. Well, I don't know how much use an ISDN card is in 2024, but then again, I'm pretty sure that if I had when I was in whatever age I would have been for ISDN to have been contemporary, I would have probably been thinking at the time that who would be using this technology in 2024, and yet here I am. I'm using that technology. Yes, looking at the time, we'll have to continue the Quadra 700. Looks like we'll be working on the Quadra 700 at least some next week too. I don't know. Maybe I'll look to see what coffee tips have come in, and maybe I can get some some absolutely authentic, definitely without a doubt licensed property of InGen asset tags to put on the case to disguise the fact that it's not a real Quadra 700 case. Yeah, there we go. I'm totally sure that the person selling them got every and all licenses from Universal Studios. I mean, without a doubt, they have to be authentic licensed products. Thomas Armstrong says ISDN in rural areas. Yeah, I guess that is true. And why I have to say I got the idea to even look for those asset tags when Adam Adam sent a picture of his Quadra 700 and it had a Jurassic Park um, property sticker on it, and I went on Amazon and found them, and I was like, oh, look at this. Yeah, that's definitely a authentic licensed product. I might have to get some. And then I went and looked on Etsy, and they had some that were property of InGen. I'm like, oh, now that would make more sense for the computer to say property of InGen. I'm sure that's a totally official licensed product too. I mean, totally, definitely. And I'm trying to put the case back on, and I do not like these Delta power supplies. You work on one of them, and you would think that you could remember several hours later how the thing went back together, but no. It's like they purposely designed these things to be a enigma so that you couldn't. So if you did do the silly thing of taking them apart, you'll never get it back together again. This is why this live stream is for educational purposes only. And for entertainment purposes only. Not educational, entertainment purposes only. Using the wrong word here. Because you can be entertained while I try to put the lid back on it. Yes, for entertainment purposes only. If you're going to take one of these apart, you need to have the authorized personnel training because, yeah, otherwise you'll entertain other people putting it back together yourself. See, there we go. All right, so I'm just trying to. All right, I just want to put this thing back together enough to test it, see if replacing those 3 caps did anything. So to test this, I need to put it in a board. And I don't want to risk my Quadra board. So therefore, I don't want to risk my Performance 600 because it actually works. Well, I guess it's my 2CI then. I guess, all right, let me go grab my 2CI. It's probably the. it would be a shame if something happened to it, but there's something wrong with it as it is. So it would, it's not like I don't have more troubleshooting to do with it. If I did a little more well, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm first going to power it up exactly the way it is. Oh, okay. I was wondering why I was smelling slightly melted plastic, and I found the plastic that was melting. Nothing that, I got the corner of an anti-static bag with my desoldering iron. No big deal. Just has a slight odor of melted plastic. Of it actually kind of more smells like candle wax than anything. No, no, never any huge risk. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make sure that this 2CI actually boots with this power supply that is tested. It's not been recapped, but it's been tested and working, and there's no leaks. And actually, this is the same model power supply. So, all right, not gonna hook up a keyboard. I do have the monitor hooked up. So 3, 2, 1. All right, we have a chime. And I may have the wrong Mac adapter because I have two floating around on my bench. Although there is like Jack says kablamo. Yeah, not likely with this power supply. All right, I've got two Mac video adapters. If this one never shows an image, then I simply picked the wrong one. Although there's like 68 megs of RAM in this Mac, or 65 megs of RAM. So it may take it a moment or two more to run its RAM test. Or we may have nothing, because maybe it's the wrong Mac adapter. Let me see what this one here is set for. Maybe this other one's the one I meant to grab. Because, yeah, we should have a video signal. Let's try this other one. Because I think one of these is set for the 2CI and the other set for an LC. I mean, it is quite possible that my 2CI finally decided to, like, stop working with video. Alright. 2, 3... Wait a minute. That doesn't seem right. Hold on. I don't think... Actually, I think both of these are set to the wrong things. All right, let me double check the... Let's see here. I believe for this gray adapter, I want to set VGA, and I'm pretty sure I want mode 5, which should be 2, 3, 6, and 7. Oh. That's probably why it didn't work. 2, 3, 6, and 7. All right. It is quite possible the video... I was thinking that there's something wrong with the video on this 2CI. Because if you remember, this is the one that, like, if you have it on 256 color mode, one of the colors is shimmery. And when you first boot up, like, the black and white background that should be like black and white pixels alternating is black. Which I thought might be the RAM DAC, but I don't know. Possible maybe the video system on this board finally decided to quit. I mean, I'm getting a chime, but no video. I was kind of hoping, though, to get video, because... And 3... Yeah, sure enough. Unfortunately, I don't have any new bus video cards, so... Yeah, alright, well... Huh. Alright, well... Let me try this video setting. I'll try one last setting, and if that's not it... Well, we'll just have to go with Will It Chime. Okay, I did hear a little pop. But I don't think I'm using a monitor that supports sync on green. And that's actually what I just set it to, was sync on green. Or maybe I should set it to 1.4... Okay, let me try one more setting. So let me set it for the 13-inch monitor. 1, 4, 6, and 7. So that's separate sync, but for the 13-inch monitor, which is 640 by 480 at like 66 hertz. I know the 2CI's built-in video is a little picky. I don't think it requires sync on green like commonly said that it does, but I think it does. It is picky about what it will output. And maybe it doesn't do VGA proper. But I also kind of thought, oh, there we go. Oh, I think I did something silly. Oh, my capture card is my... Oh, my scaler doesn't like the resolution it's outputting. Okay. So you can't see it. Oh. Okay, so you can't see it. because my scaler is like not having any of the output from this 2CI's video. On my monitor to the right, I do have the flashing question mark now that I set the adapter for the 13-inch monitor, which is going to be 640 by 480, 66 hertz. And I do see there's no black and gray background. It's like black. So definitely the video chip has not gotten better over time. So, okay, so I do have a video image. I don't have a blue scuzzy in here, so it's like at the flashing question mark. So let's go to the other power supply now that I confirmed that I can confirm that if it starts to boot, we'll see something. All right. Will we have a chime? Will we have power? Will we have smoke? Will we have so much power flowing through this power supply that I get 256 colors in monochrome mode? Well, 3, 2, 1. All right, it chimed. Yeah, I wish the capture card would like lock onto the signal, but apparently it doesn't like something about it. I need to get one of those Extron scalers because I think they're a little more forgiving. So, well, that'll be like an after VCF goal thing. All right, there we go. I got a flashing question mark. So this power supply is at least outputting a good enough voltage to get the 2CI to a flashing question mark. So, all right. And it's also like 5 after 12. So, I know, where does the evening go when we're having fun? Well, part of the evening, Comcast just like completely made me sad. And I didn't know I was actually sad. And then my internet recovers. Yeah, that sounds like Comcast, all right. Of course, it might have been YouTube. I cannot exclude the possibility that it was actually YouTube, because it's kind of weird that my internet just goes for about an hour apparently, and then it just gets all better. And it's been good for the past hour and a half. So yeah, could have been Comcast, could have been YouTube, could have been both of them. Anyways, yes, so I'm glad you all were able to join me for my first live stream after hitting 500 subscribers. Yes, I am going to have to work on updating my animations, because now there is, of course, the YouTube Supers as well as the Coffee and Patreon. So, anyways, oh, yeah, I should have remembered that for channel announcements. I forgot to announce. Okay. I guess better late than never. All right. For YouTube channel memberships and Patreon and Coffee, I am currently working on aligning the tiers to match. So I posted on Coffee and Patreon what the changes are on Coffee and Patreon. The main driver of the changes is to align those with what I can offer on YouTube, so that all three have the most similar of benefits as I can offer them. Although the one thing about channel memberships on YouTube is, well, you get highlighted in the chat. So there is that small perk. Anyway, so yeah, I'm aligning the benefits across all three platforms. I know I earlier in the week had kind of pondered what I should set pricing on YouTube, and I decided to set it to the same pricing because, well, I'm a nice guy and I didn't want to be that guy that sets higher prices on YouTube. So even though on Coffee and Patreon you can actually increase the amount, like the tier amount is the minimum and you can actually increase, I was like, nah, it's fine. I'd rather just have the same prices, same base prices, because most of my channel supporters just pick the base price, and I'm totally fine with that. There are a few that I think have increased it. But anyways, the other part of that announcement is, because I know some YouTubers and even Twitch streamers and other content creators have gotten rid of the $1 tier because they lose money on it. I I have no intention of getting rid of my $1 tier because I know inflation is awful and it's the one small thing I can do to help beat inflation is to leave my $1 tier. So yes, I am not I'm not going to do anything to the dollar tier for the foreseeable future. Now, granted, if coffee or Patreon or YouTube says, sorry, you can't offer it anymore, well, I'll have to change it. But at the moment, if I can still offer the $1 tier, I am going to. But I did launch a new tier that's $3 that is kind of the, yeah, if you want to do a little more, but not like the whole Coffee Society tier. So I called it the Capacitors and Sundries tier. It's $3 or $2.99 on YouTube. And basically, when I launch my merch store, you'll get a discount. So please be kind. It's just me, so launching the merch store is like an activity that gets bundled with all of the other activities I have to do for the channel. But so I don't have a merch store yet. But when I do, if you're in that tier or above, there'll be a discount code. It's kind of my small way of thanking you for going for the inflation busting tier that kind of gets a little more for parts for the channel. But I'm not getting rid of the $1 tier unless pretty much, unless I'm forced to, I'm leaving the dollar tier. Granted, it means I think on like Coffee and Patreon, I get about 60 cents on that tier. I think YouTube, it's about 70 cents because I think YouTube takes 30%. And Patreon, I think the way so Patreon takes like flat fee plus percent. Coffee, unless you can optionally let Coffee have a cut. The way Coffee works is they're basically the middleman to direct people to your PayPal or Stripe account. So for Coffee, it's PayPal or Stripe's fee, and they charge flat fee plus percent, much like that. That's the way credit card companies do it. So for Patreon, Stripe, and PayPal, the $1 tier, by the time you add the flat fee plus percent, it's about 40 cents. But when you get up to about $3, I think PayPal becomes, or not PayPal, YouTube's a bit more expensive. But okay, YouTube, I guess in YouTube's defense, they offer more too because, well, we do have to leave their servers on so I can have these great live streams. So that's fine. YouTube can have a higher cut. They run the servers that let me stream twice a week, although I'm down to half the streams before VCF East, but I'll be back to 2 streams a week after VCF East. And believe me, my Tuesday felt kind of empty without streaming, but then again, I was setting up YouTube channel memberships Tuesday evening, and I sure wish Ryan was here because I was going to have Ryan like at least go look up the loyalty badges that I picked for my channel because I was browsing Fiverr, and of course everything on Fiverr is a regret. I say that I have actually gotten things on Fiverr that were not a regret. My Landon that I've bought some songs from, I actually first found him on Fiverr. That was definitely not a regret. The I did like pay for like a gig of someone playing a trombone because I was doing a speech in Toastmasters and I needed an example of a glissando. I think that's the name of it, or a trombone. So I paid $5 for them to do like a short little trombone example that included that, and that was not a regret. What they did was exactly what I needed, and for $5 it was worth it. So that was not a regret. And there was like one other thing and my costume stream animation I did like 2 years ago that's in the theme of Breaking Bad, that was not a regret. I think everything else I've gotten on Mercari was more or less, or not Mercari, Fiverr was a regret. Yeah, I will never buy a logo on Fiverr. I got some okay ones, but yeah, logos on Fiverr is so awful. I didn't even want to venture loyalty badges on Fiverr. So then I browsed Etsy and I'm like, someone had some non-custom, but they looked cool. So I bought loyalty badges on Etsy. I think they're pretty cool. I was hoping Ryan would be here just to point out, hey, Ryan, go look at my loyalty badges. That was all for you, Ryan. I don't know what I'm pointing at. Yeah, so Thomas Armstrong says, so male Canadian money. Oh, yeah. Yeah, all tier pricing is in US dollars. I do not know what those platforms charge as the local equivalent. So that's always why my message says, or local equivalent, because I can't tell you what the local equivalent is for the services and the way they map it, because it's not necessarily based on exchange rate. I think it's based on like for YouTube, I don't think it's based on exchange rate necessarily for all countries. It might just be it has to do with the increments that app stores allow for in those countries, and depending on the country, may be it may be better than the exchange rate. It may be worse than the exchange rate because it might be a generalized amount to kind of make it so that it doesn't fluctuate as often. But so unfortunately, I couldn't tell you what the local equivalents are because they're not necessarily based on the exchange rate. So, and I think Coffee and Patreon do the same thing. I think it's set in a way that it's not fluctuating as much as the exchange rate does. So, yeah, if you're wondering what the tiers are in your country, you'd have to go to YouTube or Patreon or Coffee, logged in, or I guess from your location, because I don't necessarily know how they've mapped the tiers, because they do it in a way that it's somewhat isolated from exchange rate variations. So it's not like I can just go to Google and look up the exchange rate calculator. I'd let them worry about things like that. Anyways, so that was, I guess, the other big channel announcement is I did launch a new tier, and I'm cleaning up the other tiers to make them match across the platforms. And I guess it's good that I did that because I realized that one of the tiers I had on Patreon, the description was wrong. So I fixed that. I'm surprised no one pointed it out, but then again, they might have not realized that it was wrong. But once I looked at it, I realized it was wrong because it had the name of a tier that I changed the name of at some point. So it had like a working name for a tier that I ultimately called it something else. Oops. Yeah, Gutbomb says they also set them so that they are on an even amount because £3 17 pence would be weird. Yes, Gutbomb, that is the other thing. Yes. It's to isolate it from exchange rate somewhat and to make them also somewhat even amounts because yes, no one likes to be trying to juggle the like 17 pence there. Yeah, exactly. Or the like €2 and 34 cents or whatever it is. Yeah. So yeah, it's probably mapped to like in the US, like 99 cents, $1.99, $2.99. It wouldn't surprise me if it's like 99 pence, £1 99, £2 99. But yeah, there's something like that. Or even in Canada, it might be like 99 cents and $1.99 and $2.99, and then it jumps to like $4.99 or something like that. But anyway, yeah. It also has to do with they want to make them nice, even amounts. Jeremy says pence. I think that is the correct unit of measure for the sub unit of a pound. I could be wrong. It gets confusing sometimes because I think they call their money quid. And yet I don't think that's the legal name for it. But anyways. Yeah, Jeremy says cents in the UK is pence. So yeah, that's what I thought. I may not know the name of all the currencies of all the countries, but at least for the major ones, I do at least try to keep track of their sub whole currency unit. But anyways, yes, fun with world currencies. Anyways, I'm glad you all could join me. I'm glad I at least started to get this power supply that was in the 2VX, which you can't see because I'm on me cam right now. Glad I got it at least powering up. I don't think it powered up last week, but I will. So next week we'll work on replacing the rest of the caps, just because I started it and I'd like to finish it. And we'll get the Quadra 700 in the case, and hopefully Comcast won't be a meanie and drop my bandwidth practically to nothing. I'm glad you all stuck around and were very kind while my internet was going haywire and I didn't realize it. So thank you. No thank you to Comcast. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Comcast. I mean, they're the easy target to blame. Jack says quid is like saying bucks. Okay, yep. Oh, yep, slang term. All right, well, anyways, it is about 20 after 12. My throat is getting dry. I do have to work tomorrow. And, yeah, so anyways, next Thursday, we'll probably continue the Quadra 700 because, and in fact, hopefully we'll finish it and maybe get started on, I don't know, maybe we'll get started on the Power Mac G4. Trying to get its logic board sorted out. That'd be a pretty good stream for next week, don't you think? So, yep, because at least I did, I got the capacitors for the yeah, I should have it. So, yeah, I got the capacitors for the G4 desktop and the capacitors that go on the VRM board. I also got some capacitors for VCF East. So, I did unfortunately forget to order the capacitors for the CD-ROM drive that was in the 2VX case. So, yeah, I'll have to order those. Actually, those are cheap enough. I'll probably just order those tomorrow. They are repair parts because the Quadra 700, I may need to take it to VCF East. It'd be a cool computer to get up and running. Anyways, yep, is definitely getting late enough. I have my finger on the button, and I'm glad we could have some fun for Macintosh. Stay tuned for more cool Macintosh content. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when I go live next. And smash that like button. That lets the YouTube algorithm know that you like this content. And tell a friend. I know I've passed 500 subscribers, which is kind of where I wanted to be before VCF East. Actually, maybe I'd like to get 512 because that's a nice, cool power of 2. But hey, I'm glad I got there. But share my channel with a friend because the more the merrier. We all have fun here. And with that, I'd like to wish you a great rest of your day or evening. Take care. Hope to see you next time, and God bless. Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you've liked what you've seen, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or live stream. And as always, thank you for all your support. I hope to see you next time. And until then, take care.